And the Tenka Yoga Tarot is a special oracle tarot deck that we created that brings in your intuition into a focus. So there's a warning here, but it's not necessarily negative. What are the thought patterns you're having inside and the words that you're speaking that are causing fear inside of your life? Each card that we have here is specifically created to align the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere of the brain. So inside of your life, there's been a lot of questions, and there's been a lot of where's the direction, where's the path, maybe even going and relying on others to find this path. Well, your wholeness is upside down right now because there is an inner doubt inside of what you want inside of your life and also the path that has been chosen. But the good news is if you start to focus and there is a sense of gratitude and you find the happiness in the little moments and you understand that every single moment is something to be grateful for, there's going to be a dramatic shift. But you have to really be careful of the pain that's inside, the pain that comes up through different words said, through interactions with people in your circle, maybe your family, your friends that you say have been there, your family that you're supposed to rely on for everything. But are these influences really bringing you to your true happiness and freedom? Or are they just bringing you down? And understand that people that are hurt are going to want to make other people feel the same way that they do. Also, there is room for every single person to change and shift their mindset no matter what you've been through in your life. This is just a faculty available to you as a human being. Like they say, change forever or scared straight or all these different things that you feel it in your being that there needs to be this type of shift. It's always available to you. But are you ready for the drastic life change that comes with that? This reading is something for you to understand that fear is something that will eliminate the desire. No. We don't always want that. We want to eliminate the fear. We want to use these cards to help you reprogram yourself. And each reading that we give is personal for you. So if you look in the description, you can book online. We have 1 card reading, 3 card readings, a deep quantum reading that goes into all your different entanglements, their cords, hooks. You know, there's going to be different words depending on your belief. And a metaphysical belief, the energy of the unseen can attach to you in various ways depending on items, influences, words that are said and spoken, and even on an intense level, it can even be projected to you by a thought. So how do you protect yourself from this? How are you going to eliminate this fear inside of your life? You must check your influences. You must expand your intuitive ability.
So let's help everyone psychologically clear, spiritually, and everything. I'm not even going to tell you the exact date. I'm going to tell you a period where someone that had some money decided a long time ago to take the long vowels out of all the words because they were rich. They had money. And they took the long vowels out of the sounds. But the true masters knew that through frequency and sound. So if you look at wholeness and the sacred, those are 2 things that all of you are going to talk a word. S-H-I, you know the last word. Now, if I were to say it, some of you would act so alarmed. Oh my God, I could not believe that that's just the word. And that's what you do. Now, when you look at someone with the vowels, you can take the word don't. Okay, let's take the word don't. I'm going to tap this. And I'm going to say something. I don't like the taste of liver. Okay. The minute you change that to I don't or do not like your attitude. If you say that to someone, you should count so many seconds to see their response. Now, if their response is different, but holding it in, you're still going to see those expressions coming out. Does that mean shake hand, this, that? No. There's a vibration that will flow through their voice. It's a detection, it's a frequency. And you have to understand happiness is in a release. It's always releasing. You are the one that does not allow it to release. So that brings us to the throat. Now, the law of the throat is that I must be able to throw my throat. I must be able to use a temperament that someone would say, oh, he sounds very stern. He sounds too strict. He sounds too nerving. But to the other person, that person be like, oh my God, he touched my heart. I understand something. I know. I am ready to know. You are not ready. You are always ready. The problem is that you don't have your fairy magic in you, and you don't understand, see no evil.
Speak no evil, hear no evil. You have to understand the influences in your life. So the sequence of the cards means that a lot of people on the line are using this ability to portray something to someone because they want to be viewed in a certain way. Also, the use of magic and these properties to sway the mind and the heart, and you know the power of it, right? Because it works. But you have to think of humanity involved, and also the repercussions of every single act, every single thought that is done. There is not one thing that happens in your day that is not for a reason. This is where we get into the quantum theory, where every little decision you make will affect you in your life in some way. So you want to make sure that there is the peace and there is the knowledge. You are always learning as a student of this universe, and you must utilize these in the correct way. Some of you are using gemstones, Reiki healers, and masters, but you don't know how to truly cleanse the gemstone, because people will always come to you if you do healing. This is a trade that calls people, but it's ancient because it resonates with the healer inside. Maybe you're trying to heal pain, physical suffering, mental suffering inside yourself and others. Well, how do you ground yourself fully? In Surya Soul Sun, we teach the power of the elements. We teach how you need to get sun to eliminate the energies in your auric field, color, the spectrum, how to put your feet into the soil and root with the center of this earth, the source of ancient magic for this reality. So we have here the mixture of the utensils that we do use, and there's the sticks from the trees, the lava rock, and the bracelets, and then the cards that are creation and inspiration from what someone says is divine. And then we have the Hanuman card, which brings abundance for people on this line. You are here for a reason, devotion, things lead you to hear things in different ways. And some people say they're symbols of different religions. You'll recognize different things when you view these cards, and you constantly view the meaning, because we understand the path that the soul has to take through the many religions, the different rituals and ceremonies that really bring you to what is the understanding that you want. You're just trying to be who you truly are, probably find love, feel loved, be accepted, find a place where you can feel secure and have a good foundation. So you have to learn it starts within, and you must create it for yourself. It doesn't matter who you say you are, man, woman. A child can have such a consciousness of the world because of what the trauma they've been through that they act like an adult when they're not fully an adult yet. So we just look to see inside of life where we're able to get stronger and understand that this is what life is, truly, just a bunch of people trying to connect in this world.
And I'm going to do something special out there that you really don't see with us, because we teach a more advanced horoscope, more advanced than any astrologer has ever done on the quantum level. And no one out there can actually compete with us when we do this. So right now, I'm picking 2 cards, and I am going to take the horoscope of Gemini. Now, the Gemini, they say that it's a split personality, it's this, it's that. Well, it really reminds you of the traits in which you learned, and are you using it in the fairy magic of an identity to get something that you do want? Because the Gemini can really create money from nowhere. But there's also the poor-minded Gemini that is the victim, and that's in every horoscope. So I'm teaching you now the horoscope of the Gemini. Look at your friends. Identify your friends. Are they liking each other? Because if one of them don't like each other, the other one's going to talk with another one. Then they're going to hold the secret on you. That's what some of you are experiencing right now. They're going to hold the secret on you. But they're taking your information, whether it's a business, whether it's a friendship, whether it's healing, whether it's there, especially the spiritualists, they're really working people's energy to overcompensate this false identity. So the Geminis must be aware of this, and they must be aware of people that really can drain their energy and give them a point of energy that it's exhausting, because they're dealing with 20, 30 other people in some sort of way. Now, if you're a Gemini sexting and you're having relationships every other night, or maybe you're the one that is married and having a relationship, maybe you're the one that's cheating on someone with that, does that make you a non-spiritualist? That makes you a so-so get-together dummy.
But it also depends on what is your agreement and the contract with yourself and those involved. The Gemini is also good at seeing beyond, because there's the influence that stays grounded, but at the same time, there is the expansion, especially now in Gemini season every year, and when the moons happen in that sign, there is a greater understanding of how you can develop as a person and who you truly are. So this turned into a reading here, but also a type of astrology that we do specialize in also. And if you want an astrology reading and reading of your birthday numbers, numerology, but really the Surya Soul Sun system way, not the way that someone would go and they read from a book and they tell you this and that. It's really how and why are you experiencing what you're experiencing and who you truly are.
Because we can give it to you immediately without looking anything up. most people go and they look something up. They have everything all pre-planned. You know, the healer textbookers. That's what I call them. And that's good for them. But at the end of the day, when you evaluate them, so inside our astrology, it's beyond that. It's into that quantum field where a Gemini should be in every trait. All the horoscopes should be in every trait. Because the one architect that most of these gurus or mentors, because they read so many books, or because they made $1 million, or because they did that, they had their struggle. But at the end of the day, what are they flashing? They're flashing what is the time that they hit before everybody else. Pay attention to that, guys. So when we give you the identification, we give you something beyond that. Some of you should be taking a textbook and writing things down. Some of you should be listening to these card readings every day if they're up. You should be studying it inside out, because each card works the left side, the right side of the brain, the vagus nerve, the understanding.
And the more you have this deck, the 10K Yoga or any of the other oracle decks that we do create, the picture is designed in a high frequency energy. So it is a piece of healing art. So you take this deck as it is, you can see how used this is. You just flip through the card. It activates you. This is something that you can do when you get these decks for yourself. Now, this is the 10K Yoga. We also have the Magic Hikadas, the Dancing Dragons, the Healing Mandalas, and many more coming, because as this goes, the creativity and the art just flows through us, healing artists. You too. Are you an artist? You are. Every single person designs their life. Learn how to do it.
So now we clear that. We get into, now you would say shamanism, you would say this, you would say that. That's nice. But at the end of the day, this was channeled by us, and it works hand in hand with some decks, because some people, you have to know what deck to use on them. They can't just decide that they want that deck. That's something that when you go to a healer, oh, what would you like today? Let me check you out. You got the 7 chakras. You got the alignment. You got the, okay, we didn't do the heart chakra because you weren't ready yet, correct? So let's do this. Let's get you the candles. Did you just hear that? That's trying to please the customer. Someone comes to you, I want this. No, right now, that's not what you want. This is what's going on with you. You must be able to read an energy. And these are what these cards do. It's the same thing, left side, right side of brain, vagus nerve. And it's a little deeper when you get involved in this. And you will start to see. So this card
is stand out. You can see this. So inside of your life, there is something that sets you apart. Are you fully embracing it? Or are you hiding away because you're scared of what other people may think? Now is your time to really, we say this, be who you truly are. There's no better time than the present. What is it that you have been wanting to do? Where have you been wanting to go? What dreams have you let go of that? Are you too old, you think, to go for them? Well, you're never too old. You can be reborn every moment. So this Magic Hikadas deck is very to the point. Cards will come up in sequence and repetition that you'll just be astounded, but also these forms and colors will hit you. This is a very neutral card because people out there are very too many different views, but we have to go back into us and what works and makes us all universal human attributes, the breath. We're only given so many breaths in this world. So have you been losing it, anxiety, depression, losing your temper. Sometimes this is preventing us from reaching who we truly are. And maybe these emotions are ready to be dealt with so that you're able to stand out, something you would have wanted to do for a very long time. Or maybe you're pretending and you're lying and you're saying everything's all right, but it's really not. So you want to be who you truly are, whatever that means for you.
Maybe you have children and you're with someone and you think that that's the world, and you think that someone is, you have to do this. You have to because you're with this. Those are things stand out. Now, one thing that none of you know, there has been an experiment for almost 2.5 years with this deck. Now, this deck was used for people, we don't do it on here because that's a lot of private moments and different things, but it's for people to understand their sexuality, for people to understand the abuse they went through, for people to understand what predicament they're in. They're very serious readings.
The cats have such a healing essence that you can call it whatever it is, animal healing, communication, psychicness with the animals. But each animal has its own vibratory essence that, yes, these cards help people that have gone through some serious trauma in their life, physical abuse, mental abuse, spiritual abuse, different things inside, sexual, when you were a child, when you were raped, all these different things that can apply to people that are just frozen in place. So they will help with different insights. And you can always get these decks in the store, Yoga Healing Deck store in the description, so you can flip through them yourselves. The guidebooks are separate, available on Amazon in different formats. The reason why is because we want to control, in a sense, the availability of the use, that this is not for harm or someone using it on someone else when they're not fully trained on the deck. We want you to understand it fully for yourself. That's why we encourage you getting the deck, being very familiar with the energy of these cards, flipping through them one by one. And this can be done with any of the decks that we do create, because that's the intention behind the cards. Again, we don't need the cards. And to be intuitive, you also might not need the cards because you get feelings. The cards just help you channel this so that you're able to control the energy more. You don't pick up vibrations, all the things that come with this empathic, intuitive realm, you know.
So,
you've heard it.
Like you heard, if you are experiencing any sort of sexual issue, partner issue, abuse, relationship issue, anything like that, you can ask something here, but not get into a deep reading. These cards are in the general, but there is an experiment that we did over 3,500 people in less than 2 years that actually changed, help people move on that needed to move on, because we never tell you to be with someone or not to be. That is your decision. But forgiveness can happen if someone cheats on someone, if someone truly loves someone. But the understanding is holding on to that you don't know, and knowing on how to clear that. But once you have a mate that will not cheat on you, that's a big thing to treasure. Because maybe they can't make as much money of you, or maybe they can't do this or they can't do that. But that security of the love inside of them for you, if you're a woman and you share something, maybe sexual, and it's a child. But what happens when you don't share it as a child? That point of excitement, let's just say that, when the deed is over, what was your intention to change something in the world? Because that's a miracle that could be being born. But it had to be used for something else. And you have to understand that the sexuality, it's not what you think. And all these things that they tell you to be this, be that, do that, you have to understand your contracts. But we're going to get back into the deck. That's for the people that are really having big issues. You can call us.
So we say also, if anything, or you're in danger, or if anyone has threatened anything, you go to the authorities, you get the help that you need. Through the nonprofit, we also offered the direct pathways to access to the contact information that you can call for support. But we're also here, if this touches you in some way, that we're here to speak with you with a heart-to-heart in a certain way so that your spirit can get that rest that it needs. And you understand that inside of life, things do happen for a reason, but it's how we bounce back from them.
And one of the biggest things that we work on are bipolarness, paranoid schizophrenia, all these different things. We're not there to diagnose you, and we're not there to give you the medicine. That is up to your doctor, but we're there to talk with your doctor to identify what can be changed. And we helped a lot of people. So sometimes you're bipolar. I'm going to give something where really it's a special day today. And I'm identifying a lot of things like, well, everybody has that tendency inside of them to get that way. But some people are have a good job, have this, have that, have money. But some of them are like bipolar narcissists or bipolar narcissists, spiritualist drainers, or they're the Drano.
And you'll know these people because when you get around them, you'll feel a certain way, and your energy will feel a certain way after and days after. So we teach you how to be a little more aware of your body and what's going on to identify these types of people. Also see patterns within inside of yourself that may be detrimental to you living. So it's about someone else, but it's also about how do you change inside of you to be aware to not attract those situations anymore.
And if you go to a healer, and so there's a healer that has, I see all these healers with big followings. And they're telling people, well, I don't know how I do it. I don't know this. I don't know. Maybe it could be this. Maybe it could be that. I know that. I understand that. But the ones that tell you that they're drained after doing work, you better watch that. You should be more enthused. If you're a spiritual practitioner or spiritualist and you're running a spiritual, one of the things, if you're into stuff like that, you call us up. We set up people with businesses, teach you on the protocol, teach you on the energy, how to do the tune-ups. You need a table, you need this, that, the other thing. We'll train you.
Everything is connected, whether the business is something in the food industry, retail, or even spiritual work. People say there's so many specialties within that. Do you know who you truly are within that? That's what we can help you figure out.
Yes, we'll train you. But the thing is that you're in your own business. You don't follow the protocol the right way. You only took a course of the training. You're supposed to have all that certification ahead of time. If not, if you want to do it through us, then that's a little more expensive. You'll understand that in this lifetime. So let's get into the next card.
Compassion is the main lesson here. What is it that you constantly go through in life that allows you to feel these emotions or go through these circumstances or really be truthful and catch someone in something and then they completely turn on you? Is it family? Is it friends? We go back to what does it mean to have these feelings, and understanding where is it happening within inside of you that's creating these circumstances, because it could be just the way you've been trained for your whole life, subconscious programming, which is what these cards also do, the Magicai Caddis. They go past the conscious mind and hit the subconscious mind with exactly what people need. And it's more compassion inside of life. It's truly understanding where someone's coming from, not trying to compete with them, not thinking you're better or someone's worse, but understanding how equal you are and feeling that love. That it's almost like in this card, the mother is nurturing the kitten, but that's all you in itself. So where inside do you need to nurture even more inside of yourself? And if you say you're compassionate, you're trying to be this, and you are that, you're feeling the love, there's something that there needs to be more of an understanding. So we always go a full circle where we nurture ourselves, we treat ourselves the way we want others to be treated, we treat others the way we want to be treated, and any other vibration, and that is going to bring down the vibe of the place in earth. And you know who these people are. You can sense it, most of you.
Now, the next one is for business owners, those wanting to open businesses, those looking for a way and don't understand. This is the next card.
Many things inside of life are being revealed. Maybe you just lost your job, or you quit it and you want a new one, or it's not the right time to do something. Well, you're going to have to be more decisive if you ever want to live the changes that you're saying you want to live. So inside of this, there's many sparks, and there's also a basket where maybe the cats are in the basket, or maybe there's more cats in the basket. They say don't put all your eggs in one basket. So are you going all in on something constantly that's totally not working for you? You must expand your mind and understand that with knowledge, there's power and also responsibility, but you're never going to be able to progress to where you want to go if you keep making stupid decisions, or if you keep making decisions that are late. I say you can never really be too early, and you always want to be ahead of the game in the mind. That's the mindset. So we see how this can also affect you. These cats are pretty cute. They're both very young. They have the bright eyes of the future. They're just waiting for you to make a move, and they're waiting to assist you. So whatever you want to do in business, there's always a business idea and room for you to do it. The idea of competition is just instilled to us at a very young age when we play sports, when we have testing, exams, and it really provides us the debilitating fear and the lack of knowledge that will put you into a drone-like consistency as you go through Earth. There's really only liberation in understanding that you have full control over what's going on inside of certain aspects of your life, and also knowledge is freedom. We say that too, but you want to expand and just see where this leads you.
And the biggest thing is some of you are in business and making money, but the people that you started the business off with made more money on the side from you that you don't realize. Maybe you're in an industry that provides all sorts of things, from having this unit, and a person had a unit and now they're using it, or someone learned to trade from someone and now they can do it on the side, and they're getting leads from you and doing business with you. And some of the things that they were doing were things that when newer people come in, you're not used to paying that amount of money, and you say, well, my team can do it better. But in reality, it was that you were sentimental towards your team and sticking up for them in a way because you were hurt maybe in a relationship, maybe your mother, your father, or maybe your wife, or something that you were trying to look for more of an identity. They can't do this to me. So there's going to be decisions where You have to understand that there's some people that are trying to get in and trying to help you, but it's like you go to someone for a real reading, real reading, and someone says, I only have $35. Okay, all right. But if you have knowledge and wisdom and this and that, but at the end of the day, if you know your knowledge is worth a lot more. Our knowledge has been tested with people that charge $8,000 to $10,000 for one session. And they would tell you, no one gets it. Yes, they do. There's people that get $15,000 for one consultation with you because they know the energy inside out. That is something that we can charge, but we don't. It's no greed. That's why we have formed a new nonprofit that will actually help people.
If you're in a job and you're a cog in a company, or you're a higher up in an executive, is where you are right now something that you can say that you're proud of, or are you still reaching for that freedom because you're actually abused where you are? You have to recognize if someone's using your ability, or if they're being fair with you. Is something done in good faith because you believe in it, because someone said something to sway your, decision because they're good at talking? Or is something done in greed just to get something on someone else for free? We have to understand the intentions of people and be totally honest when we come into these readings.
And you have to understand too, in a job atmosphere, the ones that make a lot of money will ask someone, well, what is my title? First thing you need to ask, what is my title? Because I'm not going to sign a contract with you unless I have that title. Now, someone says, well, I need you to do the paperwork and do this and do that. And what are my hours? Okay. So if you're going to go home and show the boss that you're taking work home, they're going to pile more work on you. That's abuse. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Now, the funny thing is, if you're having an affair with them and you're bringing all that stuff back and forth and you're trying to meddle,
that's a different magical
situation.
Else's
business, that's a crazy situation. But the main thing is understanding what is my title, because there's some people that I notice that I'll walk into a store and I'll see the person sweeping, I'll see the person dusting, I'll see the person stocking the shelf, I'll see the person watching the register, going outside and whoa, how many jobs you doing? And then going in and cleaning the toilet? That's your job?
Are you being taken advantage of the people you trust to give you money every week or every 2 weeks? So we see also the roles that people play. And if you've never even thought about questioning it, then that's something ingrained that maybe wasn't from you. It's a programming from society to put you underneath someone. We're here to help you get your liberation and be not just on top of the world, and so you think, but to use it for the good of humanity.
And the next one brings us here, but I'm going to tell you something. We have worked with tons of people that worked in government jobs and everything, and they say that they can't move up, they can't move higher. And from there, when we read their cards, we watched some of them get remote work when they needed remote work.
Just from one
coronavirus, before any of that, working from home.
From one email they sent.
Just from one email that they sent, because we put the spirit into the law of the contract. And when people see that, you start to understand that it was possible. We help people get their children back. There's some people that didn't get their children back because they were still stubborn in their ways.
Whatever in life ails you, or so you say, is a problem that needs help, that you're suffering from, and maybe you're blaming that it's dark magic, it's black magic, it's curses. You know, people use these words in the spiritual realm, and that's just full of shit, because it's really what is inside of you. Where is your fear creating this in your life? And you're blaming something else. Take responsibility.
So when you look at that, we have to understand what is that spirit inside of me that I can talk to someone, but I can foresee the future, because time does not exist. Maybe in your dimension it does, but when I look at you, I got to look at you in all dimensions.
It's a quantum field.
So at the end of the day, if you're this or that, who cares that you're this or that? What does that mean?
Beautiful. We love it all.
So one of the biggest things, at one point in time, I did a lot of work with deportation, work with different things, and I realized something, that when I had to work the dormitories, because they really weren't prisoners. They were just in the country illegally, but some of them were very dangerous that you didn't know. So they had to be on a watch. But the funny thing is, you had one guard, and in that room, that's all they had, in a little panic button. That's it. Then you had some other guys that were on duty, that were bringing them to court, bringing them to the plane, doing the transportation. They had the guns on them. So they can come into the dorm with the gun on, but not the other guards, because it's something there. And what I realized is that I looked at everybody and treated them as if they were a human being. And I got some amazing things, because I traveled around the world with different stuff and studied a lot of different things. I learned something of people's heritages and how they would go in groups. But when you start to put all different groups together, that's when they start to fight. And even the same group will fight, because people are emotions. So when you treat people, you must look at them with respect. I got to a point where the guards where the prisoners, they weren't prisoners. They were just people that weren't in the state or weren't in their land, and they did something illegal. Some of them were going back. Some of them got caught being here. So you would look at that as, well, there's a reason why I'm watching this person right now. And the prisoners that were prisoners, some of them were prisoners because they came back with a reading that they had to go in private rooms because they killed so many people in their country. If they go back to their country, now they're going to try to claim asylum. They're going to try to do this. If they go back to the country's going to kill them. So you always had to watch out. But the guys would come up to me and say, you coming to work tomorrow? You work? And I'd be like, no. Do me a favor. Don't come in on your shift, because we're going to start to riot at 6 a.m. So that's going to go into your shift, the next shift, this, that. It might be days. You got vacation? Take off. And I would say, well, what will make you happy that you don't got to do all this? And some of the things were the most stupidest things. I'm thirsty. I need extra juice. I need to store the juice because they ate inside their dorms. I need to store the juice. I need to do this. I need to do that. Do yourself a favor. Go work in the kitchen. Apply for the kitchen. They'll get you in. They'll take you in. They always need out. You could drink all day and eat all day as you're cooking. They're going to give you food. You don't need to come back like that. You don't need to steal this, do that. Another person, well, I don't have time to pray. No one prays like me. I'm this, I'm that, I'm whatever. I'll get you outdoor rec. You can go outside and pray to, I had some people that were Muslim and stuff, and they said there was no practice. Okay, I'll get you an outdoor rec. Go out there. You get a certain time. Go. When everybody goes to outdoor rec, you go in the corner and you pray. I'll make sure no one bothers you. And when you make little things like that, and once in a while, the dorm would be so great that it was really up to the warden. And the warden be like, that dorm has been so great. They've been so good. Let's give them a pizza party. You know what that meant to them, a pizza party? Or someone gave them a cheeseburger? So guys, you must look at people and identify what is needed to see inside people. And when you do, you start to experience these cards in a different way.
Your mind may start to transform, even your body may start to transform, because there are also things that manifest from the emotions we experience, the pain and memories, the glimpse of an experience, the anger, the resentment, the pain that's manifesting inside the body. These things are just lessons and also signals for you to shift something inside of your life, transform yourself in some way. We hope this resonated with you and helped you. If you want more information, please view the descriptions in the link. There is where you can book online. If you feel compelled, you can call immediately to speak with someone. These cards are available for you to come back to. And also, we will be showcasing the healing art gallery we have here with paintings you can buy immediately online. Each painting has its own healing quality. That's why it's called healing art. So we program the paint, the colors, the painting when it's complete, and also the whole process is made with the most healing intention for you inside of your life. And the magically resonate, the healers, the practitioners, the facilitators, because it unlocks the artist that's always inside of you, whether you express through music or through dance or through drawing, the physical arts, the visual arts. Everything is more of a way for you to learn and be who you are. So we're going to showcase that with different pieces you can purchase and have an original in your own house or business.
And this is for all the healers that are watching, but never call, never do this, or sending your spies over. You need a lot of lemon. Actually, you need to use lemon inside your body.
Use lemon, drink lemon, keep it in the atmosphere. It's very cleansing. So there's a lot of toxins within the body. When you get older inside of life, the root gets affected with the emotional stability, the questioning of life and existentialism. So you have to really make sure your body is that clear vessel. Sometimes you were able to eat something in the past that you can't eat now, and you have to understand the processes and also how to restore these processes,
and
because
now,
it is possible.
The root, you're unrooted because you're actually going to watch, sending other people to watch, some of you calling. We see it all the time, and it's a funny game because that does nothing for you. So we wish you good healing. But if you are continuing to watch, your serpent inside you rages. Because you try to watch, to take information. See, that is studied data on experiments that we have done for many years. So we have the diamond inside of us because of how many people we have helped. When you go and try to make false calls and do all this, and we are bringing this up because we had over 800 healers contact us saying, how do I protect myself from all these narcissists? They're crazy. You can't. You just got to have a system that turns around and calls them out without calling them out. So if you right now are a spiritual healer and then from 9 to 5 you're an insurance agent, and on the weekend you cut hair, and on Tuesday night you go out with the girls but you're married and you cheat, or you do yoga and 5,000 different things and go for tea.
But you read cards on the side, but you were brought up in a religion that says that's a certain way. So in a way that's embedded deep within you until you learn how to balance yourself. And whose cards are you reading anyway? Are you reading someone else's deck and just getting it from a guidebook you studied? Or is it just attaching to other people that you say you work with? These are the things that we really need to help the spiritual communities out, the psychic communities. And we developed a sort of hub here in Puerto Rico where in our location, there's many different things you can experience to awaken your spirit, even if you're just walking to the complex.
So the biggest thing is to identify all this and understand. And it wasn't that we were making fun of healers. The healers were asking if we can express, because maybe some people will listen to us more than them. We went into areas that were so over-controlled, and we actually had to bring in our nonprofit lawyers, teams, to really identify all the law. That's what we have. We even have spiritual law, the law that is, no matter what. And once you start to study that law beyond your religion understanding, you'll see why we do this. But one of the biggest things that we didn't do was sell out. Pay attention. Our decks are our decks. We teach because we teach. And the other thing is, when you buy a deck in the store, you don't know that person from Adam. Maybe you heard them, but did you really study with them? So how do you know the true meaning of those cards if you went into it with all your emotions? With us, we identify everything first, and maybe a short few will be able to do something that we taught. But the minute you go is the minute you leave in a way that you don't understand. All is one, one is all, and we are together.
You might have to just watch this whole video from the beginning to truly understand. But if you're here, that's good. The 10K Yoga Tarot is here to help anyone. You can book online in the description, and we're here on the line if you're insightful and want to connect. Thanks so much. SuryaSoulSun.com.